This is a Headgum podcast.
You know what's so hard about this is like we moved everything so we could release this next Tuesday. It's coming out Tuesday.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
But the problem with fucking politics and anything in the world right now, I don't know if it was always this, whether it feels more chaotic now, whether things used to move slower. But I'm like, I don't know. Everything could change. Trump just announced he's doing like a speech Thursday night on TV.
Yeah.
Who knows what that's going to entail?
Yeah.
What if he's stepping down and this whole episode's negated?
Down.
Maybe.
It's the nature of the news. It's always new. So it's hard to pre-record podcasts like this.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's not good news.
No.
It's not going to be something we like.
You don't think it's like an apology for the Rob Reiner post?
No.
You think?
No. You think he learned?
Oh,
Three
my
ghosts
God.
visited him and he's like, oh, actually, yeah.
I think if Three Ghosts visited Trump, they'd be mad that they couldn't kill themselves.
Yeah.
Like, they'd be like, this guy is impossible. Welcome to The Downside. My name's Gianmarco Soresi. I'm here with my co-host, Russell Daniels.
Hi.
We're joined today by the Majority Report's Emma Vigeland.
That's me.
Hi.
That's me. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for doing it. We know each other through Twitter.
Yes.
Which I even went to check the other day. I was like, are you on Threads? No. You're still on Twitter.
I'm still on
Twitter.
Twitter,
What are we doing?
but less so. I mean, I feel like really I moved most of my kind of online activism stuff to Instagram at this point. Like, Twitter's basically dead. It's just all bots and people, saying
but
you're
it's still
Jewish.
mean.
Right.
There's
right.
still stakes, and people
Right.
still get dragged. And I do think I enjoy the blood sport of
Yes,
it.
I definitely have a sickness where I do enjoy the blood sport of it. I think both my parents are lawyers, so I confuse like arguing with love. So when I go on Twitter, it's just like perfect. I get to be, it's right at home for me. Arguing about politics, please. This is like, being a child again.
Oh, that's horrifying. My childhood was like Elon Musk's Twitter. That's a brutal time. Emma, what's the political commentator?
Yes.
Is that's kind of your...
Co-host of the Majority Report. I mean, yes, definitely not a journalist. I don't like when people call me a journalist, because a journalist is a very specific kind of thing. I'm a commentator. I'm a pundit.
And so define what's a commentator. I kind of know, but versus a journalist.
Well,
You're saying you don't have
I don't have sources. I'm not like digging into a story. And journalists, like, people should be clearer about what a journalist is, because it's
I agree.
important right now.
I think the New York Times said Andrew Schultz is the number one journalist right now, or something like that. And I said New York Times.
Dude.
New York Times.
Dude, I mean, journalism is an important practice in this country, and there are processes. Like, there's sourcing. You can't print something unless you ask someone for comment and all that kind of stuff, which makes it so that we have a system of ethics in the press that should be adhered to. But now everybody and their mother's calling themselves a journalist, and they don't have any of those ethics. Like, I mean, Laura Loomer's at the White House press conference asking questions. Give me a break.
Yeah, she's coming on next week.
And she'll have a new face next week. She changes them like you change your water filter.
Wait, there was a picture going around
No, it was fake.
It was fake, right?
It was fake.
Okay. I was one of those mysteries
yeah.
where you see once and you're like, I think that's fake. And then I saw it like 4 more times and I was like, I am going to try to look up the real thing. And then I forgot to look up the real thing. But I thought it was fake.
It's hard. I shared a thing recently. I shared it. It was Trump with the walker.
Oh, you did.
That looked real.
It did look real.
Yeah.
But I
AI's
had
getting
the
really
instinct
good.
to be like, it's fake. Yeah.
Have you ever shared something, since you're not a journalist, and you went, fuck.
Yes, absolutely.
Fuck.
Absolutely.
What was the worst?
I don't even remember. Now I'm trying to think. It was probably something that was AI generated.
It turns out Israel did nothing wrong.
Right. Yeah. I was wrong the whole time. Right. I've been
so
sharing
many AI generated.
so much Hamas propaganda, obviously. Or what did the crazy Zionists call it? They call it Pollywood. They call it Pollywood. Have you heard about this?
Like
No.
PALI?
Yeah, like Hollywood, but for Palestinians, basically trying to say that all of these images are manufactured.
Because we haven't made it in Hollywood, and
Right.
maybe there's. I go, oh my God, is that Russell?
They're flipping the trope. They're flipping the trope.
Yeah, I just saw on. I had a joke it was about that account Stop Anti-Semitism that labeled Miss Rachel as one of the top 10 anti-Semites of the year.
Yeah.
And Stop Anti-Semitism commented just like an hour ago, being like, Miss Rachel spreads Hamas.
I like doing your anti-Semitism rankings like a BuzzFeed list. Right?
Yeah.
Top 10. Scroll down to see who's number 1. Spoiler alert, it's the children's educator who doesn't want kids getting blown up all the time.
It's also like, if I were to take all morality out from a strategic position, I'm like, Miss Rachel is so beloved that you're going to make this the face of like the thing that you're fighting, and all the kids love. It's so... Yeah. You know what it reminds me of? And I have this, is Harry Potter. Uh-huh. Where there feels like a lot of, like, obviously J.K. Rowling, virulent transphobe and just putting a lot of money towards the thing. And sometimes I think focusing on, like, shaming anyone who still likes Harry Potter or every actor who ever does anything with the Harry Potter thing, I look at it and I go... This is a losing battle. There's better battles to be fought than pick the artistic entity that so many people have a deep nostalgic childhood connection to.
A good connection to, yeah.
Yeah, and also like the property itself, Harry Potter itself, isn't like transphobic. In fact, it's magic. There's all sorts of things that can change.
Yes.
And better to... There's just sometimes I think there's these battles that are picked that are losing battles that... it's the question of being annoying. What is it?
It turns people off from like getting on board sometimes, your thing.
Yeah, and that level of nostalgia, like Harry Potter, your brain is and all your emotions are forming when you're like reading that stuff or watching those movies. That's like so deeply embedded in people's nostalgia that it's the Miss Rachel thing's insane, because I think that is more of a representative of like the Zionist view her as a real threat because of how wide of a reach she has and the fact that she's unflinching. So like that's why they're going after her, is because the humanity that she shows is such a threat to their project. But when it comes to like Harry Potter and stuff like that, I agree with you. I mean, personally, I have a hard time now even enjoying Harry Potter, but that's just because I'm like I'm not your average Joe. I'm democratic socialist like
yeah.
But I agree with you. I think
it's just like it's going to be around. HBO is not going to cancel the show. It's going to be on for the next 10 years.
Yeah. Yes.
And some people are going to love it. And like, I think the tactic would be more so like, Harry Potter is a celebration of transness because it's an exploration of people can change and they have identities and it's magic and wonder and like reframing the show itself to make J.K. Rowling hate the show, rather than some friend who at the end of their life will have given $4.50 to J.K. Rowling based on what they consume of Harry Potter, like to lose their goodwill.
I think
to take that away from her.
Overall, I agree also with you about like what is not like effective activism or use of your time in that way. And I think individualized shaming for people's consumption choices, especially when we're in or consumptive choices rather, we're everyone's in such a precarious economic situation. Like if you order from Amazon or something like that, it's just like people they have to use the services that are provided for them. We don't have the luxury right now for people to like pick and choose about like what kind of businesses for most people, right, are ethical. If you have the money to do so, then you can. But when even just the individualized shaming of people as opposed to focusing on the collective, it's a very liberal impulse, as opposed to a leftist one. And so I think that like people can make choices within their personal lives about how they want to approach members of their family or people in their lives that they may have disagreements with, but the shaming piece, I've never ever seen really any productive stuff that's come from that. It's mostly conversation and giving grace and showing that you're open to their perspective and don't think they're dumb, that kind of thing. But the shaming, I also think it's bad for like the left-wing political project to have that be central in any way. You want to be an inclusive group and not saying these little actions that you take disqualify you from being this kind of moral person. It's just not. It's not a collectivist worldview.
Yeah, it also just totally.
And with art too.
Yeah.
I mean, art is just like,
because you can go in the comment section and you'll always see, like, not a lot, but like no matter what is any kind of clip of an episode, you can pick, like, there's one thing like, or actually, how about you not prop up blah blah blah, and it's like the smallest, most niche thing that you're like, if we gathered all of those little things that we're not allowed to either talk about or go to or consume on TV, like, it's so many things.
Well,
it's such a limited like,
you know how companies have the, what is it called, where they say that they donate a carbon, what is it called?
Carbon footprint,
but it's like
carbon credit, or
carbon credit. Like, I think we need to create more like social credit when it comes to like art. So it's like, listen, I donated to this organization that helps trans youth,
so I'm listening to
I'm going to play the Harry Potter video game and post about my favorite scene. That's what I think. We need a system.
But it is nice when you're not partaking in something and you're like, okay, well,
it makes people feel good, right? To be on the shaming side of it. But I think that it's also I think people just feel also really impotent politically. And because we are in such a moment of like anti-democracy, and I'm not like, I am including also the Democratic Party that doesn't listen to the over 90% of their base that wants us to cut off weapons to Israel, the 70% that say they're committing a genocide, the fact that the Democrats didn't have a primary process and just like forced Joe Biden through because of that primary could have been an outlet for people to feel like they have some democratic input in a system. And Trump's obviously anti-democratic from in expressly as like a fascist, basically. But it's just, I think people are relying on these, like, I don't know, little moments in their personal lives that have to do with the only thing that we're taught that we can express ourselves through, which is consumption. And substituting that for political action. And it's not going to build to anything that will change the world. It's just going to make you more miserable and the people around you more miserable.
This is the downside.
Hello.
1, 2, 3. Downside. You're listening to The Downside.
The Downside.
With Gianmarco Soresi.
Did I say what the show is already?
No.
This is The Downside. This place we complain, we get negative. We see the world for what it is, but then hopefully feel better by expressing it and letting it out and not pretending all the time. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/downside for 4 bonus episodes every month. This is my last week in New York before I start my Asia tour. And
so those are going to be important.
What?
Those Patreons.
Oh yeah.
It's the only time we're going to be able to check in for months.
And Russell, if it's just Russell, that means I'm in a Singaporean prison because I did talk about drugs on the show.
Don't bring them there.
I know. I read the
Make
Jeremy Harris.
Check all your
Jeremy
things.
Harris, did he get out of Japan?
Yeah, I think eventually.
A playwright, but
I read about that.
3 weeks though.
Yes,
he was gone for a while before they even heard the story. He was like 2 weeks in there.
He's researching a fucking movie.
Was it weed?
I thought it was. Can we look it up, Ty?
It was okay. MDMA.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I
it was
mean,
something he should have gone to jail for. Even here.
It was.
What's the name one more time?
What? Jeremy O'Harris.
O'Harris.
Yeah. No. Well, these days, weed especially, I have a little tablet and a little pill, and I gotta look through every crevice.
Dump the bag out.
Right.
And shake. Yeah.
Right. No, I feel like traveling with weed, it's like, all right, what do you expect from people? I mean, not to Singapore, though, not even there. Just warning you.
That's the attitude in any other, hey, what do you expect? What do you expect? Xi Jinping, please.
I think in America, though, you can kind of like put, it ends up in a baggie. It's
I'm going loose.
Yeah.
I remember like 2 years ago, I went to North Carolina with gummies, and I mixed them in regular gummies, and I like, as if I had a snack pack, and I slipped 2 in there, and no one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember what we would have to go through, what we've been through with weed? Like, I remember smoking in my dorm room. We'd have all these freaking contraptions, like the toilet paper roll with like the toilet to cover up the smoke, and like the paranoia that we'd feel.
What would you do do with the toilet paper?
Oh yeah, you blow into the toilet paper bowl. I mean, and then
There's like a little bowl. Yeah.
it was like you look up on the internet like how to hide weed smell. And
Yes.
Then you blow it through some sort of filter that probably did absolutely nothing.
I mean, even 7 years ago, we went to Toronto. We went to the Sketch Fest there.
Yeah.
And we. It was like someone had a family member there that bought so much weed, and we were only there for like 2 days, and they were like, "Hey boys, here's all this weed," and we were like, "This is like weed for an army," and so we were driving back over the border, and we had all this weed, and we're like, "We can't bring this in," so I think we went to a McDonald's and just gave it to a cashier there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was like thinking of like how crazy that was, and how to how now.
But you just don't know. Some border
Yeah.
checks, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while,
Well, I gotta be careful because I'm on probably some list of top anti-Semites in the country
Sure.
or
Yeah.
something. But I am not Muslim, and I was born here, so that helps.
it's one of those things. I've flown in and out of the America, and I've tweeted some things.
Have you gotten any of those questions?
No, not at
Yeah.
all. And it's like in my mind, there's part of me that goes, "Is this overblown?" And then it happens once, and I'll be like, "It's the scariest thing that's
Yeah.
ever happened." There's no like kind of middle ground.
Right,
Like,
right.
hey,
And what are you saying? Because you tell me someone was asked what question?
no,
were
it's
they asked?
Hassan Piker.
Yeah.
We had him
Oh,
on, and he
yes.
talked about like what they asked him, but I don't know the things you're supposed to say or not say. So I would just do
If they say,
"Am I being
Are you making?
am I being detained?"
Say,
You're-
yeah. Am I being detained? But also just say I'm not going to communicate until I've spoken to a lawyer, and just repeat that over and over.
I
again.
think I would say, "Let me perform the tweet," and it's way better like
Right,
that.
right.
I'm
Okay,
more
but
of a
if
performer than a
they
writer.
say you're a comedian and they're like, do you tell jokes about the president?
Yeah, like how nice is he?
I like that was Seinfeld delivery.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
get safe in there.
yeah.
I would say, yeah, I tell some jokes. I tell jokes about everyone.
Yeah.
I'm an equal opportunity offender, officer.
Hey, you got something in your shirt. Ooh, you're going into a real old school routine.
That's the real white privilege. You'd be like, you got me. Yeah, if you get me, that means you get to go. That's the rules. Before we get too heavy, you like musicals?
I do.
Wait, I was given intel.
we were
what was
given
that
intel.
reaction?
A huge part of the research was how much you liked musicals.
Who gave you this intel?
What the fuck? I've never been so
I have
betrayed.
Been so
Wait,
lied
hold up.
to.
I need to know who the person is.
It's
that
our
gave you this
producer.
intel.
It's our
and I don't want to
producer.
throw her under the bus. She
I'll
she
throw her
does
under the bus.
very good research.
I like them fine. I mean, I like.
Oh.
I
Oh
like-
my god, this
Oh
is
my God.
humiliating, embarrassing. Wait, hold up. I'm gonna
Maybe
read this.
we read into
'Cause
it
maybe
more.
you're wrong.
Maybe we
Yeah.
read into it more.
It says, oh no.
It says her favorite movie is The Sound of Music.
That's true. That's true.
Also,
that's what this
Mary
is.
Poppins and La La Land, and she likes musicals.
Well, I do like musicals. I do like them. I wouldn't say.
see?
I wouldn't say I'm a
I told
huge
you.
fan. Maybe now you know me better than I know
You know,
myself.
in your own defense and in Paige's defense, there's a lot of bullet points, and both of us saw that at like
I just do
number
control
8.
F musicals, and otherwise we cancel the session.
I really love select musicals. I would say that there are a lot of musicals I really don't like.
Which ones?
So, I mean, I saw one musical one time, Sunday in the Park with George. Or something.
Emma, we're not going to be able to continue this conversation.
Oh, no.
That's like if you said I like some play. I saw this one play, Hamlet.
Oh my God! I'm sorry, but I just who does the music for that? It's just so. Is it
Sondheim.
Sondheim? I'm not a Sondheim head.
Oh,
I mean,
Emma. Okay, we'll move on.
Yeah,
We'll move on.
I love.
It's okay, buddy.
I'm so
It's
sorry.
okay.
I love.
It's okay.
Emma.
I don't. All the tones are.
Oh my
Sunday
God!
in the Park with
You sound like
George.
Amadeus when the king says too many notes. Too many notes.
See, I'm not enough of a musical fan to know what that I should like or what I shouldn't like.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
most important part of art is to know which things you should
And
enjoy.
yeah, right.
I
Can talk about other movies?
No, we're moving past the musical section of the show. The quickest musical section we've ever had.
And now it's going to turn really combative.
Yeah.
because Gianmarco is not happy with me right now.
Okay, let's so again, we're recording this on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what the fuck will have happened by the time this comes out. You get early access on the Patreon though. One thing I am interested in discussing, whether it's famously, Candace Owens liked a joke from my last special.
We played that on our show, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we played it because it was so funny that she picked that one particular one of you and
Sure.
not the more obviously like anti-Zionist stuff.
That's the first time you decided to play me on your show? Was when Candace Owens enjoyed. But it was like when someone texted me, they said Candace Owens played one of your jokes, and I'm like, oh, I know which.
Yep.
I know which.
Yeah.
And I do think, for those who don't know, it's a part where I jokingly talk about my girlfriend exaggerating, and the joke being Jews exaggerate. And listen, jokes that revolve around the number 6 million, they've been done. I think this was a good twist on one. I'm proud of the joke. It was Tovah's favorite joke.
Yeah.
My Jewish girlfriend. But this does kind of go into the cross section where Candace Owens, even to call her anti-Semitic feels like to ascribe actual beliefs to her,
Right.
And but fine, let's take her at her face value, because who cares what's underneath it?
I think it's pretty safe to say she's pretty anti-Semitic. Yeah.
Yes.
She said the big problem, and I'm paraphrasing, it's not an exact quote, but this is when she was still employed by Ben Shapiro. He was okay with this. She said that Hitler's problems were that he was too expansionist. That he.
I thought that was you.
That if he had just kept things within Germany's borders, that would have been okay, was the implication. And it's just like,
Oh, no.
yeah, there were Jews in Germany's borders, Jewish Germans that might have a disagreement with that if they were alive to have a disagreement about it.
Yeah.
So you were pretty rough, lady.
It's hard to know. I get frustrated with these people, and I don't know if you feel any. If I talk to a comedian who has politically horrible views, I'm still able to understand them on a comedian to comedian level. You've moved different networks, you've done different shows, and it's like whether it's Charlie Kirk or whether it's Candace Owens, there's just this thing where I go, are you hyper ambitious and you're this is all fake, this is all above it, or do you kind of believe some of this, but I don't want to give them that benefit of the doubt, because then they shift and someone goes, well, you got to hand it to Candace Owens for this one. And I'm like, you don't
Right.
It doesn't
Right,
matter.
right.
So what, let's talk specifically, what have you met Candace?
No. I mean, I have really not met many right-wing pundits. They keep to themselves kind of famously, and they're also very afraid of my co-host, Sam Cedar, who has a lot of trouble going on right-wing shows. I think Rogan has him on a blacklist. Fox News definitely has him on a blacklist. It was a whole thing where he was trying to get Steven Crowder to debate him, who backed out of debating him, I think, twice or 3 separate times.
Yeah.
And I think it's because our show is so I don't have anything in common with them, right? Like, in the sense, I do actually think Candace might be crazy enough that she believes what she says. She has a level of emotionality behind it where
But I think she's just an actor.
she might just be. She's
mean,
also genuinely insane. It seems like
Yeah.
paranoid, delusional, all of that, and then wraps that in. She's like a female Alex Jones at this point, where she kind of taps into some people's like lizard brain with her emotionality, and she also centers herself as a character in the news, which the right increasingly does, where she's always the victim or the target of like French assassins.
She might be killed.
or something. Exactly.
She might be killed.
But
Yeah.
like, even with like Alex Jones, there was this degree of like, oh, he kind of believes this stuff, and then you see him, especially with Trump, like full on delivering talking points of the deep state, of the government,
right?
And you go, oh, this is scripted. So were you never a conspiracy theorist? Did you just see money in it? I don't know where the truth ends and where they're just pure like scripted making a lot of money begins.
I guess I don't know either. I think a lot of them are more, well, I'll give you an example with Tim Pool, the only really, the right winger that had me on his show. So credit to that, but he kind of had a bit of a meltdown during that interview, and he freaked out. He got very high pitched and started screaming and all this stuff because I triggered him. And after the episode was over, he was like, "Do you want to hang out?" like, do you want to come and have sushi and play poker with the boys and hang out with me? I'm like, I have my flight to catch. Like, I don't want to hang out with you, dude. I don't like you.
Yeah.
What I could, and then obviously we made fun of him, and the next day he comes out and he called me a pedophile because I had said that I didn't support this particular book being banned in the middle schools. And
the definition for pedophile has gotten way too wide.
yes. And it was like, I've never gotten so much. I mean, you know, like, I have my family got some calls and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
it was not great, and I could have sued him because it's crazy, but I just didn't understand. You called me a pedophile like 24 hours later, but immediately after the interview, you wanted to hang out with me. So
Yeah.
when did you figure out?
I think when you said no to the hangout.
I think it was when I said no to the hangout.
I think you said no to the hangout.
But it was because he doesn't even. And also I don't think he even believes what he says. Like,
Yeah.
to this point is like, they think that
Oh, we're done performing.
we're done
Let's
performing.
hang out.
Let's hang out. It would
Yeah.
be like a green room and at a comedy show or something like that. And I'm not about that. They make millions and millions of dollars, these right-wing pundits. Like, I mean, dwarfs my salary many times over.
Yeah.
And I don't do this for the money, right? Like, independent media, truly independent media, in the way that our show is, which is, you know, we do run some ads for like Tushy bidets and CBD and stuff like that. But
and
everything,
Aura frames.
yes, and Aura frames. Shout out.
Yeah, that's true.
But other than that, we're completely viewer funded, and so there's just like I'm in this because I'm passionate about what I talk about. I'm not in this to be some sort of kind of celebrity, and a lot of them are that. And that goes all the way up to like when I did CNN the other night. You just see in between, like in the commercial breaks, everybody's just back to chatting and they talk about races and like polling and horse race stuff, where it's like about the thrill of the game for them, as opposed to the values that they should be, you know, advocating for, or at least that I advocate for on our show.
I think it's weird. Like, there was 1 week that I did 3 things on CNN, which, if anything shows the destruction of the news, it's that I'm on CNN 3 times in a week.
That's too much.
That's amazing.
And and it was like, one was one of these table shows, and you go around, and it's really, I've learned a lot of, like, it's not a discussion. Mm-hmm. It's not a discussion. It's
not.
like, you think of your one line to say, which for me it's a joke. For them, it's whatever point AIPAC paid them to say.
Yeah.
And it's like, they were all talking about their book release, and it's really just seeing the career underneath it, and it feels very similar to a performer's career.
Yeah.
Not saying that all of them were disingenuous per
Because
se.
you're like, I'm here to do that, but you shouldn't.
They were
You know,
talking
you're like,
about
you're-
who was going to run the Q&A at their book stops, the same way I would talk about who's going to open the show.
Yeah.
And it was just this thing where I go, man, it's all the fucking same thing. It's just I'm selling entertainment, and they're selling like morality, truth, what's going on in the world, who you should vote for, and I go, ugh. It's so it's so broken and corrupt. So when Candace Owens and Erica Kirk have a 4.5-hour meeting, what do you think the conversation is? Do you think they're both really talking, or do you think they're saying, hey, we're both trying to make a career off this guy's death, and you're fucking up my shit because you keep saying that I'm involved with, and she goes, okay, I'll stop saying that.
But is she
part.
fucking up her shit? I mean, in terms of like, there's tension that is on both sides, and
Erica doesn't got the juice though.
No,
Erica
no.
does
Yeah, yeah.
not
No, she
got
doesn't.
the
No.
juice.
No.
It's like if a client died and then the manager was like, I'll be the client now. She may have been involved, but like, it's crazy to they go like, oh, what's the Charlie Kirk show? What was it called?
The Charlie Kirk Show.
The Charlie Kirk show. And it's still called that. And they're like, the numbers are going down. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Hard to keep up the Charlie Kirk Show without Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's like any of those shows, that John Ritter show didn't last that long after John Ritter died. Like, there's just like certain things. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it's but to your question, I don't know what I would imagine they're mostly talking about business. Like what I think is pissing the right off right now about Candace Owens is that everybody involved wants to use Charlie Kirk's death. Every single person for their own ends. But most of right-wing media is aligned for one incentive, which is let's keep the Republican project going. We want conservative rule, but they also, all these vultures want to make money off of TPUSA because it was very well funded by right-wing billionaires. I mean, that's how Charlie Kirk kind of got plucked out of obscurity, was because he was useful and they thought that infrastructure would help them with young Republicans. And so there's this donor-led battle over that infrastructure for the benefit of the Republican project, and for them to get rich. But Candace literally said the other day, I don't care about your midterms. That's what started her feud with Tim Pool recently. She is in it because I think for her own media career, and it's benefiting her.
She's making so much money.
She's making so much money right now, and so that's what they're mad about. They're not mad that she's like, I don't know, using his death. They're like, we're all using his death.
But aren't they also mad because, like, in Nick Fuentes as well, where it's like, the Republican Party, or at least the powers that be, they have an agenda, and it shifted, when Trump came to power, and ultimately they tried to fight it and then kind of go along with it and shovel in their things, and so then someone like people who are not pro-Israel, anti-Zionist, suddenly they realize, this conspiracy theory fan base that we've cultivated, they're not as tameable, and suddenly the Candace Owens and the Nick Fuentes, and now they have to have these people onto their show, and that's where I go, like, I'm dying to hear the conversations, because I don't believe it's about truth at all, or I don't think Candace and Erica sat down and talked about, like, so why do you think Israel did it? I think it's like hey, when you do this, it's fucking up. I'll stop this. I'll help you. It's all business, and if it's all business, then they don't mean any of it.
I just don't know. But with Candace, like, it's not good business for her to constantly be saying that Emmanuel Macron's wife is trans, and she's getting sued over that. And I've never seen any other conspiracy or any other right-wing commentator even care about this story. That's where I'm saying, like, she might be one of the only genuine,
for the love of the game.
For the love of the game.
You don't think she's making money at the end of the day?
Oh, that too. But like, when you're that insane, dude, it all just gets mixed up in one kind of massive ego trip. The money, the conspiracism, the self-victimization, and she has a very small outfit. And so I think that, like, she might actually genuinely be slightly crazy about this kind of thing.
When is there a comeuppance? I feel like Alex Jones, there was a moment, this is why I think people get so cynical. But the goalposts keep getting moved. I mean, for any sort of conspiracy theorist, if you're into it, there comes a moment where you just keep moving those things. But when do you get in trouble? I'm saying, like, you're saying, like, Candace Owens is getting sued, and I'm like, I don't know enough about the law, but it certainly feels like Alex Jones was sued into what was it, $1 billion or 900 million, and like, he's still wearing nice suits, and he's looking actually in pretty good shape these days.
When you talk about, look, the left could be a little bit more conspiratorial. What's up with that? How is he able to keep broadcasting?
How is he still doing stuff?
It's a question. I mean, you could be very useful if you used to be a conspiracy theorist to say certain things that sound like conspiracies, but actually are beneficial to people in power, and there might be someone protecting you. Yeah, just throwing that out there.
Wait, but getting back to pedophiles, no, my question is, because that's such a big thing of the right, it was a big thing of the right, it's just an interesting, how is that going to shape, because it was so much of what many of those people talked about, and then now with everything, it for a lot of people, it's, let's ignore that is a thing, and Epstein and stuff like that. So I feel like that was a huge motivator for, I mean, like, look at Marjorie Taylor Greene saying like that was her biggest thing, and then that's why she's saying she pivoted. But
do you believe that?
No. I mean, I think she made her something like $25 million, and she's cashing out. And there are going to be some Republican retirements given what it is looking like 2026 might look like. Like, they're going to basically do what she's doing, which is like, I don't want to take these votes because Trump's already kind of in lame duck territory. territory. They're feeling like, I don't want to have my name attached to this if I want to have some sort of future. Political career. But like, you know, Paul Ryan left after cashing in. Like, there's not a ton of shelf life for these Republicans because they are in it to make money, and like they got their tax cuts. What else is next on the agenda besides just ripping families apart with these ICE raids, which are going to keep getting worse because the budget, like the fiscal year, started in October, meaning like ICE is getting more and more funded. That's what we're going to see more and more of in 2026, which I'm really concerned about. But I'm sorry, we were going down a different road.
No, I'm sure there's some crossover between ICE and pedophiles.
But the Epstein thing.
Yeah.
I mean, so like the Epstein vote where Trump wasn't unable to get the Republicans to acquiesce and participate in the cover-up, and he was whipping votes, calling them, and eventually they were like, we're not going to do this, we're not going to put our name to this. That's the moment where I think people will look back and say, okay, he lost his grip on his base, and this is when he started to enter lame duck territory. When this is released, the Epstein files should be out. It's December 19th, I think.
Yes,
and
Friday.
What could possibly in a way I feel like, have they not been released?
Yeah.
Right. He's making an announcement the night before.
He's making an announcement the night before. He's like, AI has really come a long way. Look at these photos.
Wait, tomorrow. Yeah.
But the overlap between Candace Owens has a larger female audience than other Republican shows. I do think that like there are some women, and this what he said about Rob Reiner. We were listening to this Republican call-in show, and there were all women saying, I didn't like, you know, I'm a Republican, I'm a Trump voter, but I don't like that he said that. Like, I think that the Epstein stuff, the way that women, young girls, and now women were victimized like that, and you're seeing some Republican women, I think, get a little squishy, including Marjorie Taylor Greene and Nancy
It's hard
Mace.
to not feel a little. I feel like rolling my eyes when the thing what made you turn against Trump when he tweeted that thing about Rob Reiner.
Oh, you should roll your eyes.
It's hard to be like. It didn't feel out of character at all.
Yeah.
It was like Jesus Christ. But I've said that I stopped myself because I was about to say to my girlfriend, like, do you see what Trump? And I was like, I gotta stop saying this. Do you see what Trump said?
Yeah.
It didn't. I don't even realize when a thing's gonna make an impact until I go, oh wow, people seem to have paid attention to this one.
Yeah.
Well, I think what you can trace is when it makes people feel uncomfortable for their support for him. Like the Rob Reiner thing was so egregious, and you know his Gen X like core constituency all grew up watching his movies and stuff like that. If you make Trump supporters feel like bad people for supporting him, that's usually when they will turn on him. Because so much of what he does, like you'll hear, oh, I don't like his tweets. That's what you used to hear in the first Trump administration. Like, I like a lot of what he does, but I don't like his tweets because when the narrative starts to turn where you are like your support for him is also wrapped up in his crudeness and his meanness, and you don't have plausible deniability about that anymore, that's when you see people start to turn on him. Because like so much of what he does is he acts as, it's like wish fulfillment for so many Trump supporters. Oh, I wish I could say the R word at work. Like, God, he like it's almost like they live vicariously through his ability to say anything and it not being tethered to the truth. It's almost like a sense of empowerment for them in racist ways and anti-gay and anti-trans ways and all of that stuff. But once that turns into something darker and they don't get pleasure out of what he does anymore, then I think that's when it gets a little bit squishy.
When it's not attached to any sort of policy thing, it's like because sometimes they could say in the past like, oh, I don't like how he's saying it, but immigration is a huge issue, so the cruelness in the tweet about immigration, they can still be like, well, I still agree with his policies. But in the Rob Reiner thing, you're like, oh, this is just an unnecessary...
And everyone's had a loved one who's died.
Unnecessary, cruel thing to say.
And everyone can hear
connected to it, yeah.
Yeah, everyone can hear what happened, and it strikes you. You go, oh my God, that's the worst thing I've ever
in the world,
heard.
yeah.
100%, yeah.
When it comes to, since you mentioned it, because sometimes it feels like the conversation about the R word, it's a degree where it's like, it's so you're like, can we get over this? But clearly it symbolizes something to a lot of people. And it's like, I was watching, it was Gavin Newsom another phenomenal actor. I mean, just truly.
Straight out of central casting, as Trump would say.
Yeah. And he was on a podcast like talking about how Trump called that reporter piggy. He said it like that, like piggy. And I'm like, Gavin, please. I'm sure you've called women worse things in private, but
yeah,
please. But he said piggy, and then he said the R word, quoting Trump. But he did say the R word, interestingly enough. But I go like, Will Menaker, Chapel Trap House.
Yep.
He quote tweeted saying like this tactic of like, I don't like the way this guy speaks. It just hasn't seemed to have had sticking power. We've watched this guy win 2 presidential elections, and the left or liberals are generally harping on like you shouldn't say that, and just that vibe of being annoying. At the same time, I've heard from other people where the R word, it's dehumanizing XYZ. I understand that part, and there's this degree where like I don't know what the solution is, because it doesn't seem to convince people to, per the Harry Potter point, because for some people saying the R word is nostalgic. That is like their childhood.
I said it growing up. I mean, I don't feel like proud of that, but that's what our friends would say. I mean, we weren't saying like the anti-gay slurs. I think that had passed, although I'm sure boys my age were saying it. But like, but that was still a thing, the R word growing up.
I think though that sometimes a lot of like problematic jokes or like baseline jokes, there is a nostalgia that fuels it, that really is like, oh, it's just like that's how my boys and I. So with straight guy, you'd be like, that's so gay. Like there's something that like, oh my God, I'm back in middle school. I didn't know I was gonna die, and that's and so it's just like. It's that thing where like I don't know what the answer to the conversation is, because I think as like a comedian, I think about like my favorite comics of all time, and a lot of them, they said crazy shit, and I go, and it's funny. At the same time, when the word becomes like too culturally comfortable, people lean on it and they say it all the time, and they use it as an insult for everything.
That's the thing, is it's used, it's too much.
It's rarely like, oh, this guy made one racist joke. It's more like, then he made 4 in a row because it was so easy and dull. But when you get mad at someone for a word, they roll their eyes and they go, God, you're so fucking annoying. And I don't know. Has your I don't know if it's evolved, but I used to be more like, guys, just don't do it.
Right.
And then I saw that doesn't work, and you're a cop. You become a language police, and it does get boring. Has your views evolved at all on that, or what do you think?
I would say, I mean, maybe I don't know if I ever had like fully formed views about it. I'll just say like our show, before I joined, the co-host of our show, Michael Brooks, tragically passed away, but he would do all these impressions that even at the time, maybe he was ahead of his time to a degree, because like he was doing Obama impressions or Mandela impressions. Right-wing Mandela was one of his favorites, and like perhaps there was a time where it'd be like, white man, don't do black voice, like don't do a voice like this. And he was never about that. I mean, it was always about, if it's funny, just go with it. And that's more of my inclination, and I'm around a lot funnier people than me.
He's
Sam,
got a great Mandela.
You're like my Cedar used to be in comedy, or Brian, our producer.
How deep was Sam into comedy?
I mean, he was. Have you ever seen that Sex and the City episode where they go to LA and he spits out his steak? That's Sam Cedar.
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
That's Sam. I mean, Sam was like he was writing. He had a show and all this other stuff. Yeah, he has
another actor getting into fucking politics.
Exactly. And then I think in like the early 2000s, especially with Iraq, he decided to do this full time. But yeah. So on that, I just think part of why Newsom saying it with that like pearl clutching tone is so annoying is it's just like back to liberalism versus leftism. If you're not offering people things that are material, and you're not focused on the collective, and you're focused on individualized actions, that is where this has like, I think, a negative political value, because you just come off like a hall monitor. You're just shaming people or whatever about their choices, about what they're doing in their personal lives, where it's like, people are worried about like, when's my next paycheck coming, and am I going to be able to make rent here? And so if you want to be the party that is not really offering too much materially different, like Trump, at least his narrative is insane, but he has one. The reason your life is so crappy is because of immigrants. If the Democrats have a counter narrative to that, where it's like, no, we have to tax the hell out of billionaires. You can have $999 million, but you cannot have $1 billion. And we're clawing that back. We're going to give you health care. We're going to give you universal child care. We're going to build housing, public housing, affordable housing. Then do you think people are going to be focused on like things like, can you say the R word or not? Right? That's
Sure.
It's just like,
but the question is like, can it like twofold where it's like, yeah, if people go collectively like, oh, the way he talked about Rob Reiner makes me feel gross, and I think this is a cruel way to have a society. We don't want this. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to gravitate or that you've shifted them to a more leftist perspective. So it's like it's if you're looking strictly strategically, it's not really a victory as it is a defeat of Trump specifically, or that brand. And
I guess my point would be avoid the conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's used to also disqualify. Like Graham Plattner, I think like there's this thing about the tattoo.
Yeah.
That he had that. I don't know. The story sounds tough to fully swallow, but a tattoo that was the second most popular Nazi symbol. I didn't know there was a order.
Yeah.
And then he got it covered up. But I'm saying like, and that's, I would say, more extreme than the R word, or that's a question. But that politeness thing, it keeps coming back up because it's used to disqualify people all the time, irregardless of their views.
And also he apologized. I mean, that's the big thing is
which is what Trump's going to do. I'm predicting it now. It's coming out after, but before we're recording this before. But believe you me, he's going to say, "I'm really sorry."
Yes,
Patti LuPone apologized. I know you don't know who she is. You're not a big fan of musicals, but Patti LuPone apologized. Trump can too.
Oh my God! No. Trump apologizing. That's actually might be like when you know he's fully lost it and fallen into dementia.
But you do it, and they go, "What?" They go, "He's really turning presidential."
Yeah.
Second term, and he's finally. That's the thing. If he apologized, he really could clean up. If he just for a second was like, you know what, I'm gonna say I'm sorry. That was rude.
He
and then it goes soaring, and then we'd be like, Jesus Christ, this country's a fucking.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's rough.
That reminds real quick though
it doesn't have to be quick.
The kind of thing is like lately. Scott Rudin is producing again on Broadway.
Yes.
And this reminds me of that. It's because a lot of Broadway people will be like, produced by Scott Rudin, like as like a thing, and it's this kind of thing where you're like, are we gonna get into like, oh, an evil producer? An evil. This one guy is the only evil producer that exists that is allowed to be producing again.
You know all the Scott Rudin stuff?
No, I need a little bit more context.
Famous, let's just add, big allegedly on the screen for the whole thing. We'll just put it at the top of the entire episode. Every episode.
Yes.
He was a super famous producer. Massive hits. Can you look up what Scott Rudin produced?
Big things.
Big things. But
and
then
he was
kind of outed as like just monstrous anger. I don't believe anything that was like sexual.
I think threw things at like people underneath
6 assistants
Toxic.
and you're a miracle if you made it 2 months.
Yes,
gotcha.
Ruthless, mean, cruel kind of thing. So
and it new kind of like around a lot of time of Me Too cancellation was like a new one of like, this guy's just a jerk,
right?
Yes.
And that's also bad.
Yes.
And so he went away for like 4 years, and then now is producing things again. But it reminds me of that thing where you're like, again, we're not dealing with the real issue of like the content that sometimes makes it to Broadway. Do we need another Death of a Salesman right now?
So it's Laurie Metcalf and Nathan Lane are doing Death of a Salesman, which I
or
will see.
Just, of course, or just like the thing of like the kind of like how Broadway shows can't financially make it at all to begin with. So like there's none of these real things, but it's like this thing to focus on, this small little thing to be like that you can every sort of social media post you can be like produced by Scott Rudin, like in this like very annoying kind of like, okay, like that's not the biggest issue that Broadway has right now,
especially with actors.
I get it's annoying that he's back, but like it's just one of those things that people focus on. You're like, there's so many things we could be raging against about the inequities of Broadway and how hard it is and how fucked up it is that the rents for these theaters are so crazy that people are having to pay
systemic
all
problems.
the things while these producers live in these mansions. Somehow, I don't know how the math works for them to everything
Then
is
it's
a
just,
failure.
what's
But
the
they
slippery slope to nihilism? It's like it's
Yeah.
so hard because
Yeah.
I just think there is like I agree.
Yeah.
I'm going to see Death of a Salesman.
Yeah.
If they added Harvey Weinstein as a producer, but then you go. Then does nothing matter if your comedian friend is opening for Chris D'Elia? Do you go? I get it. Comedy's tough.
No, I know what
And he
you
gave
mean.
you a big gig, and like I do. Again, I lean more towards the going to things. I saw Louis C.K. at the Beacon. I'm not going to
Oh my
lie
God.
about it. I'm not going to lie about it. And like I understand all of that.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
I mean, well, like if I were to think of who my favorite comic is, it's still probably Louis. I'm not a comedian,
Yeah.
so
Listen,
but like,
listen, no, we all can quietly.
and I've considered it.
Quietly on the podcast, but it's
Yeah.
like, but
So
it's
quiet.
it's. You
No,
know,
I
and,
agree,
and, then,
I agree.
and then people were mad at I think it was Vulture, some publication, like reviewed the show, and they were like, "How can you give us a platform to this person?" We go back to the platform
Yeah.
conversation.
I agree. I think it's one of those things that, like, I understand the thing. I just don't. It's not actual active. It feels like this thing of like it's annoying. So sometimes it loses people because
It's not actual
it's annoying
activism,
to me.
but
It's
it
it's
feels
annoying
like
to me,
it.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
shut up.
And also, you
Like,
just it goes back to art. Like sometimes you just need art, and it's like there should be like social credit. Like I see Louis C.K.
Yeah.
I'm gonna masturbate in private 3 times. And
what
then
happens
it's
time number 4?
Cancel it out.
with those 3. It's like a Hail Mary.
yeah.
I mean,
I see.
Yeah.
the older I get, the more I go. At least Catholics have some version of like forgiveness,
Yeah.
and you can like.
Well, that's
I think
the
it's
thing.
Hail Marys. I don't think should be the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is where, like, another thing, not to just, my thesis of our conversation is liberalism versus leftism, but I do think, like, we're supposed to be the side that believes in things like restorative justice and change. And it's one thing if somebody hasn't apologized, or, and I know, did Louis apologize? I forget. Like, it's not that.
I mean, it was not. Is that he never said the word sorry in
Right,
it,
it was
and then
in
he
the
made the
time.
special sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's but I think especially, I mean, the response to that is, especially when it comes to like sexual assault, is like historically the courts
Yes.
don't fucking do anything,
Yeah.
and so it's like, well, this new thing is chaos, and we live in this now. We live in this super fractured society where some people go, that's why it's like. I don't know. I could easily not say that I go to the show, but I'm like, but then it's dishonest, and then you're lying about like,
Right.
and everyone's lying. I imagine
Yeah.
most people at that show didn't tell people they were at that show,
Right. Yeah.
and you know how many people it is? The Beacon sold out like
Yeah.
2-4 times,
Yeah.
Right.
and I don't know. Again, I don't have a good answer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either. I think, again, for the most part, like, we've got to stop judging people on their like or on their consumptive choices or what like speaks to them, especially if it's not like abjectly racist or offensive art in and of itself. Like, and because. I just think it's basically a bit of a toxic, to your point, kind of political road to go down. But I also do believe that it, like with the Graham Plattner thing, for example, the fact that he apologized, the fact that he does like talk about how about anti-imperialism now or anti-racism, and we got an email from, and we read it on air, we got permission to, a woman who'd been sexually assaulted who asked him about his previous Reddit posts, and they had this whole back and forth.
What was the Reddit post?
It was basically saying that sometimes, there's a difference between forcible rape and if a woman is very drunk and she has to take responsibility for herself, was like something that he'd posted about, which is an ignorant opinion, obviously.
Yeah.
And
I
he's
just can't imagine. Let me put this on Reddit.
yeah, like he was a poster, but
Doesn't work.
God, I feel like my friends really thought this was a great point. I got to get this out to the world.
yeah. And so he apologized to her, and she said that she came away from that interaction like wanting to be a supporter of his and really trusting his sincerity. And so we have to give, as a culture, people the oxygen and the ability to change, and like that's something I don't necessarily think that we have fostered in recent years with like whatever cancellation, what have you. And I also, on social media, everybody can have an opinion all the time about literally fucking everything.
Yeah.
And that's part of
Yeah.
the issue too.
Yeah.
But I do agree. Like, obviously there was kind of, especially during the Me Too movement, there was a degree of like, can you stop asking about how this person could be forgiven and worry about people who were the victims, which was totally fair.
Totally.
But I think it was a degree where like even in whatever limbo where maybe it didn't seem like there was any forgiveness to be had, like you apologize or you do something, even if it's in private or whatever, and if it's multiple people, then it's multiple apologies.
Well,
and
I was sorry, go on.
Oh, no, it's okay.
No, I just you'll feel totally bad when I'm about to say. No, I'm joking. But I was sexually harassed at one point, in really my first employment situation, and that person actually recently reached out over text and apologized to me, and I accepted the apology, and I was like, you know what, like we had like a lot of other great experiences together. I understand, like, people can change and stuff like that, and we're good now. I mean, I'm not going to seek this person out to hang out.
yeah.
But
Were you surprised by the text?
I was surprised. I was
Wow.
really surprised. Yeah. So
How long had it been?
it had been like, so it's 7 or 5 years or 7 years, something like that.
There's your answer.
After Me Too.
There we go.
After me.
After Me Too, sir.
Yeah. And so it like
It's too trendy right now.
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna wait till maybe she's getting flooded with all these Me Too apologies.
Yeah.
I may have an impact in a few years. No,
Was there a degree, like, because I think also people like doubt the integrity of apologies, and
Yeah.
I always remember there was a
Well, it came when I'm bigger. Or like it came
when you got the downside
recently.
booking.
Yeah, right. As soon as I got it, right.
Right
I'm
after the
like,
downside.
yeah.
Hey, I heard you coming up on the
Hey,
downside.
oh.
I subscribed to the Patreon.
Yeah.
What about it, the apology made you feel like, oh, this is real?
Well, just the fact that it even happened. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Without the coercion of like their career.
100%. And this is something I didn't even recognize the sexual harassment, or even like it was just very inappropriate treatment at the time, really, until Me Too. And then I don't want to reveal too much about what, but I didn't end up reporting anything. And then and you just go through like, oh, this happened and X happened, X, Y, and Z, or whatever, and it was really, really uncomfortable. And so then you realize it, but so there was like no reason even like for this person to apologize, because they didn't even get in trouble for that with me.
Yeah.
So that's also what made me feel like it was sincere. And it's just like saying something like that, I mean, it's big, and I think that we should just be more open to that possibility. And I guess it depends on the severity of the crime, of course, like assault.
Of course.
But and every victim is going to be different. But for me, that's like that was enough for me to be like, of course you're forgiven.
Would you still see their stand-up shows? So, as a political commentator,
Yeah.
as a comedian,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to. There's no one I'm answering to. Not saying you're answering, but there's also no like messaging I'm trying to get across, or I'm not necessarily thinking of the bigger brand. I could just talk shit, ideally.
Right.
I think when you lose that, things stop becoming as funny. And also to a degree, when Trump's in power, when Republicans are killing it, there's a degree where, like, as a political commentator, you can talk shit about the people in power.
Yeah.
How do you navigate when Zoran wins and suddenly, like, the some of the causes that you feel aligned with, that you believe in, and a movement is starting to take place? How do you navigate? When are you going to be critical? How do you? I didn't follow closely, but I know Zoran was on recently, and people were like, "Oh, they didn't challenge him on endorsing who?"
He didn't. He basically stood down from and encouraged DSA not to endorse Chiosei to be to primary challenge Hakeem Jeffries in his own district.
Yeah.
And Zoran used his influence. He's a voting member of DSA, but he gave a speech at the meeting, and then they narrowly kind of voted against deciding to primary Hakeem Jeffries, and that was some people were upset about that. My point would be like, okay, DSA voted, so
Yeah.
deal with it. But okay, but yeah, go on.
But like, how do you feel the shift of building and messaging for a coalition versus criticizing? How do you step back and go, you've seen what happens when commentators start becoming thinking more about like the movement than the individual voice and being critical, and like, or do you go, my job has changed and now I am now more helping a movement happen that I think overall, even for its flaws, I want to speak up?
I mean, it's a tough balance. I think you take it on a case by case basis. Like being critical for the sake of being critical is not where I'm at. I'm going to call it like it is, and I think Zoran is in it for the right reasons. Like he didn't take corrupting money. He was an all small dollar donations politician. So he comes in my view with like, he should have a lot of leeway and grace because he doesn't have any of the like infrastructure of corruption that's 99% of politicians have in this country, by the way.
Yeah.
So like that he's already well ahead in that area. But yeah, I also, what I like about him, and maybe why perhaps like I don't agree with the criticism about this, is he is like cutthroat in a way that is necessary for political change. If you look at like our two most maybe not lauded, but like they got the most done progressive presidents in the 20th century, you have to say FDR and you have to say LBJ, and both of those guys were bastards. Like they were twisting arms and threatening people. I mean, like FDR was threatening to stack the Supreme Court to get his agenda across. Zoran is making tough decisions, and I think at the end of the day, I wasn't in the DSA meeting. I pay as a member, but I don't go to meetings because.
How much does that cost?
It's like I don't remember what my monthly donation is. Honestly, it's something like $20, I think.
Okay.
But you can pick and choose if you want to be a DSA member. I believe what your monthly donation is. But like it's like I do this for my professional career. I don't have time to go to meetings at night. But I think what I would imagine he said to them was, I don't want to spend the first part of my agenda where I want to be delivering on affordability for people fighting a war against the Speaker of the House because we're endorsing a primary challenge against him, especially because unfortunately, despite Zoran winning by 12 points in Hakeem Jeffries' own district, Jeffries is quite popular in his district. So like, Zoran made a difficult decision, and it's one that nationally I think a lot of leftists are going to be unhappy with because Hakeem Jeffries should not be the leader of the Democrats in the House, taking AIPAC money, all of that. This opposition has been horrific, although I think Chuck Schumer is even worse. He didn't want to expend, you have a finite number of resources and energy, and he basically made the calculation, like, I don't think that this is where my energy should go, and I don't want Jeffries thwarting me in the way that the top Democrat in the House can, who's also from my city and has all of these connections. I can't be fighting that battle right now.
And does your job shift to, at least partially, explaining to leftists why you believe the sacrifices were needed?
And that doesn't go over well almost all of the time because, like there was this really like very online debate that just did not have any kind of practical reality associated with it about forcing the vote to try to replace Nancy Pelosi as speaker some years ago. And like I think a lot of times people online assume that they know more than they do about like what it takes to win power, and you have to make trade-offs and you have to make backroom deals. And explaining that to our audience, it's gotten a lot easier. I think it's gotten easier because we've had some wins. Once you start to win, that's the thing about like why Zoran's victory is so exciting is like you give people permission to believe. Part of why Bernie was like lost those primaries and it was all stacked against him was when you have a base, like the Democratic base just wants to beat Republicans, and the idea that like someone was so too far left that they don't even you may like what Bernie says, but he can't ever beat Donald Trump. And that was so pervasive. People really internalized that. and it was proven because he was defeated in the primary. But Zoran won, and then when you get people want to be a part of a winner, when you're on board with that. I found it easier to make these arguments to the audience about being strategic in a way where when we were doing like that force the vote debate, it was like Biden had just won. The left was like just despondent and sad about it and whatever. And so the energy has to go somewhere. So
have you ever had to really criticize someone that you liked?
Sure. I mean, gosh, like
because I met Zoran just once, and there's a degree where you're like, very charismatic, and I always go. I mean, this is why I don't love comedians with politicians, because I go, the moment you know someone interpersonally, it's really hard
gosh.
I think honestly, the reason I ended up talking shit about more comedians than I probably should have, but it was like because I was on the road, I didn't see him anymore, and so I could be more honest. And like you see these people, you met them.
Yes, back in the day, like I spent the day with AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. We had texted before, like it was, and I just liked her. Like I just really liked her.
Yeah.
And then now she's this huge figure, and so it's like, oh my god, like you gotta. I like almost all of what she does, but sometimes I think she's trying to do this balance of playing the inside game and the outside game, and that's not without challenges. But like it's difficult. Even I did MSNBC with Claire McCaskill, who was this centrist Democrat who we've definitely criticized, and she knew we'd criticized her before. She's so lovely. Like she says something to you and you're like, and she said something about Zoran to me in the break where she said, he's really great, but I think I worry about all these young people getting dejected if he can't deliver and you can tell she really believes that. They really believe that the best that can be offered is some sort of like centrist triangulation, and so it's hard. You feel sad. You're like, oh, you're a nice lady. You're just wrong.
You're like, there's something so funny about that reasoning of I'm worried about all these excited people. So let's have them not be excited,
right?
So that they just stay not excited.
But that's
do you know what I mean?
Like Democrats.
That's the option.
That's Democrats.
Yeah. But it's always the person who's kind of doing fine. They're like, I'm doing fine. I don't need to do anything too crazy.
Right. So I guess I don't know if I fully answered your question, but
are you ready to criticize Zoran when the time comes?
Of course. Definitely. I mean, you hate it. It stinks. But our audience keeps us very accountable. We have open phone lines and open IMs, and we've got a lot of people who are very engaged. So we often don't have filters on.
We should have an open phone line. That'd be fun.
And I start to read IMs before, which I should never do. I start reading them before I've read it through, and then it's sometimes people saying something like sexually graphic or like completely batshit insane, for example. So,
well, let's go to our next segment. This has got to stop.
This has got to stop.
This is a time we pick out a specific thing that needs to come to an end. Big, small, personal, public. But by the way, if you join the Patreon, you can submit your own This Has Gotta Stops. Ty, what is our patron submitted This Has Gotta Stop?
Yes. Kind of a long one. Abs Rock Hard is the name.
Oh.
Two B's for abs.
Yeah.
But this has got to stop. AI everything. I am so sick of AI being shoved down my throat. So far, I am choking on it. I am an AI hater. I think it degrades everything it touches: science, education, art, music, movies, theater, books. Literally, with 2 T's, anything. Not to mention it puts people into psychosis, causes people to legit get dumber, and it is wrong like 30% of the time. It just tells you whatever you want to hear. The data centers destroy the communities they're in, taking away people's drinking water and clean air, creating cancer clusters and other health issues to the nearby communities. Please, this isn't this isn't like calculators or computers. People can legit take a picture of you, then make a video or photo of you doing anything. How are more people not freaking out about this? I feel crazy.
Hear, hear.
Hear, hear. But at the same time, this is one of those things where I go, my brothers and sisters, it's not going away.
Yes, I hear you.
It's not going away. There's someone I know who works at Google, and they said they added that AI feature and it increased search by like a minuscule fraction of a percent, which is huge for Google. We gotta determine our battles about AI. We got to do. I think messaging wise, we have to develop like which aspects of AI are we not cool with, because AI can be useful. Of course it can, and there's a difference between the AI that lets Mickey Mouse make your own cartoon or whatever the fuck and steals images, and AI that helps develop radiology or whatever the fuck. It's just like, I think the blanket fuck AI, it's not gonna work. The buildings, they're being built.
Yes.
So we just have to be specific about it, because when you hear my dad talk about ChatGPT, you're not talking this guy out of this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is his first friend in a long time. And
he's so validating, this AI.
Yeah.
So it seems to say a lot of like nice things. Have you noticed that like the ChatGPT sucks up to you too? And that's when I get pissed off. I'm like, don't patronize me, computer. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need you to compliment me on how insightful I'm being with my stupid ass question.
Yeah. I think it's really like, this is going to be more a social thing. Like Saturday Night Live recently, they got a little bit of flack because Weekend Update used an AI image when normally it was kind of sometimes a comedically clunky Photoshop job.
Yes.
And people very collectively, it was like, this is a bummer. It also wasn't just like fuck AI. It was like, this is a bummer. This is an arts show.
Yeah.
Let's have the artist make something. It is funnier this way too.
It's like, how do you react to I sent you a video recently that someone sent to me, and it was shocking. It was an AI video.
Was that the one with you and Sydney Sweeney? And I was like, this never happened.
No, it was a. Do you remember I DM'd you the other night? Someone sent me an AI video, and it was a person. It was a shocking thing to me because it was just this kind of funny AI video. But it was no context with it. They shared it.
Oh yes,
and it was shocking because you're like, it just was. I wasn't expecting it from this person, and it was such a weird video. So I think like the response, if you just don't respond to those sort of things when someone sends them to you, people will maybe take like, oh, I'm not into that. Like, don't send me those kind of videos.
I've been sending them the worst ones I see on my feed as a joke to my friends, though. Like, it's sometimes.
I mean, if you've had a conversation, it just was strange with no context to receive.
It was very funny. It's so specific. But it was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I wish I could show it.
Was it a baby?
Yes.
It was a baby.
Yeah, those are everywhere. Jasmine Crockett did that for her Texas campaign ad. Not great.
But
Not
again,
great,
same with political ones, where it's like I do think like that's a very specific thing where I'm like, like really focus on any political ads that use AI. I mean, the ones Cuomo did were crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Crazy. So racist.
So racist.
Like it's just the most bipartisan racism in this country is Islamophobia, because like just Democrats in New York City, like just boomer Democrats say the worst things about Muslim
really
people.
do.
Just like
It's
I mean,
crazy.
that's what he was appealing to. So art. Fuck AI. Politics, they shouldn't be allowed to use it because the like amount of lying that is involved here is insane. But yeah, people getting through their workday, needing to simplify a search. Let's not shame people about this kind of thing. Like, come on, to your point.
Yeah.
The grounds we can be fighting AI on are like, it's actually really impacting people's electricity bills across the whole country. All of the growth in electricity usage and power usage on this stuff, it's not being driven by residential. It's all commercial, and that's all these AI data centers, and they are making your bills go up without paying for it. They should be the ones paying for it. That's where you kind of go after them. And then, of course, the environmental stuff. I mean, that Grok AI is just poisoning Memphis.
It's poisoning my brain.
I mean, it's right.
God,
that Nazi bot is literally like just all of its emissions are being dumped into Memphis. Obviously, is a historic city in this country. It's been deeply neglected, and in part because it's a black city and it's a very racist state, unfortunately. But yeah, they're polluting communities across the country. So you have like an environmental, I think, argument, and then the people's like electricity bills, their kitchen table issues. It doesn't get more kitchen table than that.
I think maybe when someone sends you AI art, because it's going to happen, is that maybe we need like some kind of a picture of a rabbit that's died of dehydration, and you that's like your response to any AI art is like, hey, just that's what that
was
cost.
killed.
Was it worth it
Yeah.
for that picture of you as the Pope?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my girlfriend's mom. She just loves.
She
those
wants to
Pope
be the
pictures.
Pope.
She's it's one of those things where I think honestly it's the best case for generative AI. It's the joy that she'll post these pictures of her.
Yes.
I'm a weightlifter,
Right.
Or
Right.
sometimes it's like it's me on a bike, and I'm like, okay, just get on a bike. Like, don't.
I know.
Like
I know.
the Pope, sure.
Yeah.
but not something you could do.
My mom sent me it was a baby one. These baby ones are everywhere. She sent me one that was like babies in different French or Parisian sites speaking French. I'm like, wow.
Oh.
Man, Mom, this is incredible. I'm so moved.
You send back a picture of dehydrated
Love you,
baby.
Mom.
Like, was it worth it? This fake baby for a real one.
Yeah.
Russell, do you have this got to stop?
Yeah, this has got to stop, and this one is probably more important than anything we've talked about today. These straight actors. Well, I'm a straight actor, but these famous
Both of us are straight actors.
famous straight actors who are not going to kiss, not going to do any more kissing scenes anymore. What are you? This weird,
That's
religious, or I'm sorry. You tell me you're not doing any more kissing scenes. That means you had an affair. That's what you did. You had an affair.
It's like a clean comic.
It's a clean, something is weird. Something's fucked up in your relationship.
Yep.
It is weird, man. You're an actor, and all of a sudden there's a flood of them. George Clooney, this other, what's his name from The Bear. You're not going to do kissing scenes. So what? So then they take producers take these parts away from them, because I don't want to see another movie where they digitally do the fake kiss. Remember that movie?
Oh my
Listen,
God.
it's crazy.
Was that Jonah Hill?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, That's
Yes.
crazy. And
It's
I
crazy.
just think
It's
it's
such
something
puritanical art.
weird,
It's so
great.
puritanical. It's so
Don't do
fucked up.
acting then. Like the whole thing is.
Just tell me you had an affair, or
Also, kissing, grow up. This is not that big of a deal.
No,
I mean,
to suddenly be this far into your careers and be like, oh, I'm not going to do that anymore. Why? What happened?
And by the way, Andrew George Clooney, after you've kissed everyone, now we're gonna make it we shouldn't do this.
Shut
Fuck you
up.
Why do you think we got into this?
Shut up.
Let us have a couple kisses before we're fucking 60.
It's weirdly religious. It's weirdly.
Yes.
It's definitely deviant. Something's going on weird in your marriage. It makes me think about your relationships. I wasn't thinking about them before. I don't want to think about that when I'm watching the movie. So now I'm going to watch every movie. I'm going to watch
just
Jeremy
don't do
Allen
it.
White. I'm going to be like, he's not going to kiss in this movie.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? If there's going to be a scene where he's almost kissing, I'm like, he's not going to do it because his wife and him
don't have any romantic relationship, because then you're not gonna have a realistic portrayal. If you don't want to do it, just don't fucking do it. Don't announce it like you've made this some
so
decision.
weird.
Announce, say, hey, I decided I'm gonna be less of an artist.
Yeah.
Hey, I decided that my storytelling abilities are gonna be kind of muted because I don't want to have an uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah.
Also, your partner kind of signed up for this. I'm sorry, you're an actor. It's like.
But it would be
And
like me
also
being
say-
right now. I'm not going to do full frontal nudity in any movies. And
Right.
no one's asking you about this, Russell. No one's what do you?
And
what?
they act like their partner had no part in
Yes.
it. Let me tell you.
Yes. Let me tell you.
Some with a girlfriend I love her, but she can be a jealous. When I have to kiss someone, it's gonna be. I'm gonna say, hey.
Tovah's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would. It would be that thing. I'd be like, honey, you can't come to the set tomorrow.
Yes.
I can't act with you there. It'll be a fight.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But I'm not gonna go out there and pretend like she wasn't a part of it.
Yeah.
George Clooney being like, you know what? From the goodness of my heart,
Yes.
apropos of
I'm
nothing.
saving my kisses for one go. What?
Imagine if you just got cast as the opposite of George Clooney in a romance,
Yeah.
and that's when he makes the
No,
announcement
I'm
right
sure.
before you go to set.
Yes. Yes.
Right. I mean, and okay, it's also a part of how people say sex scenes. Have you been seeing this? Add nothing to the plot. There's been this anti-sex scene.
It's crazy.
Discourse on the internet where it's like, I'm watching Heated Rivalry. You two are straight men, so probably not.
No, we're familiar.
No,
We have a-
no, my wife's watching. Yeah. Well, yeah.
It is
His wife's a gay man.
I think it's more popular with women than
His
probably
name is
gay
Wife.
men.
Yeah,
His name is
yeah.
Wife. No, it is so romantic. Oh my God, these scenes are so beautiful, and it's like, yeah, this adds everything to the storyline. Like, it's tender, it's gorgeous. I mean, I don't understand.
But also, imagine any part of the human experience and being like, I don't get why dementia's in movies. You're like any kind of thing that people go through and do.
Yes.
Sex, people are doing that every day. So what? It's just a crazy thing to say we would eliminate from storytelling completely because it makes you uncomfortable because you don't do it or something. But this kissing thing is crazy, and it has to stop. If I hear from one more of these guys that get in all these movies that they're not going to do kiss scenes now, take the parts away from them.
They're
don't
so
get to do movies
privileged
anymore.
too.
Yeah.
Do you go into an audition and you're like, I will not.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna do a fart joke. Sorry.
Yeah. By
As
the way,
a leading man,
These are my demands.
Their leading man. It would be like me being like, I'm not gonna do a fart joke. I'm not gonna scream loud. I'm not gonna do a joke. Like, it's like, what?
I'm only going to kiss women on film. And then it is that thing where people go like, "Oh, that's really noble," and then the actor who isn't famous, it's like, you got to do it.
Yeah, fuck you.
No, I would. If that was my husband, I would be like, okay, so you're worried that a kiss is gonna like ruin
what's
everything?
going on in your head when you're like, yeah.
Right. I mean, it should take more
There's
than
a
that
weird
to
insecurity.
break up the relationship.
Yes.
It really, really should.
Yeah, don't like it.
Yeah.
Leave me out of it.
This has got to stop. I've been fortunate enough to be on. I had a special come out this year. It got on some lists.
Woo!
It was a number one comedy special on the list by Candace Owens. I felt really good about that. But okay, some of these lists. First of all, if it's 10 people, we don't need to rank it.
Yeah.
I don't need to know that I just barely made it.
Yeah.
That it was like that. It was there was one right behind me. I don't need to know that.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. Number two. The list 10 is the most that can be on a list. You know why? Because if I don't make the list for the 31 best specials this year. Now it hurts a little more. Mm-hmm. If it goes beyond the 400 best stand-up specials this year, now you've hurt more feelings. Mm-hmm. If you don't make the top 10, that's fine. You don't make the top 3,000, now you're a loser.
Yeah.
Lists are 10 or less, and we don't need to rank them.
Yeah.
It's art.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because ranking, I mean, I have a friend who used to make fun of me for making little ranking lists, but it would be, ranking my favorite Giants wins from the year, or like ranking the best sandwich at this place. But I don't do it anymore because it's like a very unhealthy way to categorize your mind. Like, this is better than this, and this is better. I mean, that's just a little bit of my obsessive compulsiveness. But we could just appreciate things as they are, and we don't need to create hierarchies for no reason.
Well, I still want to be on the list.
Yeah, got it.
I still want to be on A-list.
A-list.
Okay, so this is a very specific complaint that relates directly to
Two
you.
specific articles.
Yes, that relates directly
Link
to
in
you
comments,
and your
complain in the
career.
comments.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do you have This Gotta Stop?
I do. I mean, I had a few different options.
That's fine.
That
Go
I wrote
for it.
down. I'll give you. I'll read you my 3 options I wrote down.
Great.
Men using therapy speak all the time. QR code menus is my other one, but that just feels like too hacky. People who complain when someone wants to take a photo and they just don't just do it. I'm gonna go with the men using therapy speak thing because I think that's a little bit more fruitful.
That's the one that I'm gonna defend.
You're gonna defend it?
No. Well, give me a specific.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it's not just men. It's people in general. My truth. This is what I have to protect my truth. There's not your truth on everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes there is a truth. And like, I do not need people are like, and I guess it's like the Theo Vaughn of it all, where he seems like a nice guy or whatever, but like
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I'm trying to be charitable. I didn't want you to burn any bridges by
Don't
being
worry.
a
I think
dick.
that bridge
Seems
is
like a simple guy.
Okay,
I think
simple.
yeah.
Simple is so
Can be
condescending.
sweet.
Yeah. I mean, JD Vance says he's really chill to hang with.
But that's the thing. It's just like, oh, I'm sorry, guys. Like, I didn't know I was having a fascist on. I didn't know that I was like, supposed to ask him follow-up questions and fact check him about all of this. And like, I'm so sorry. I messed up. And it's like, okay, apologizing or like taking accountability. This isn't even therapy speak, where it's like, stop infantilizing yourself.
Yes.
You are in your 40s, and I just feel like there's this overemphasis on like, looking internally and figuring out like where you're at, where it's like, no, we need more people looking externally at the people around them and empathizing with them. And so like, I love that many men are in therapy now. Hopefully it makes them better partners, the people in their lives, but there's a certain like point where you can't keep looking inside of yourself, and you have to empathize outside of that. And I feel like this bro podcast sphere is way too in the former camp.
Yes, 100% agree. Apology isn't just about you feeling better. It can be about feeling worse because you're taking it in. You're going, I'm really sorry. I feel, but don't lean on it. I feel bad. The whole point is you can feel bad. We don't need to hear about it.
Yeah.
You're apologizing.
Right.
People you made feel bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe the my truth, like, oh, let's unpack
My
this, all
truth.
of this stuff. Just sometimes you gotta just like, there's moral things to do. It's not all relativist. There are some things that people should just like be rewarded for good behavior, and if you behave poorly and you're not a good person, sometimes there are consequences for that. And it's not just like everybody's in this amorphous truth-free zone that it's all subjective. It's not the case.
Save the therapy speak for your therapy session.
Exactly.
Don't make us your therapist. We're not.
100%.
We're not, or at least pay us.
There you go.
Final segment.
You better count your blessings.
You better count your blessings. This is where we say something that we're thankful for. I'll go first. I had a Thanksgiving. It wasn't too long ago, but I was with my three of my siblings. We haven't been together in a long time, and at one point, one of my sisters, we had like moved on from a topic, and then she like suddenly shared a thought from that old topic, and my oldest sister went, "We already moved on from that." And it was so mean and cutting, and I thought like, oh, this is why siblings are so important, because they really, this is why like only children can be so weird, is because they didn't have anyone who like without the politeness, without the blah blah blah, said what you just did is like really dumb.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, and she's probably done that to me too, and we've all trained each other how to be to like on our bullshit or our weird things, or being like, yeah,
Right.
that's it made me really understand how siblings prepare you to be a good person in the world.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
not that my sister did a sin in this moment, but it was like hey, that was weird what you did.
I like that.
And so it lets her go, and when she goes to a party, people go, oh, you weren't weird.
Gianmarco, I'm an only child. Everyone gets that in middle school. You get bullied. People are mean to each other. What are you even? Nick Reiner had siblings. What are we even saying right now?
I just said I was thankful for my siblings.
I understand that. But you came out. You'd have to cut only children.
Sure. Ty, I will try to be your sibling on the road.
You already are.
Exactly. What's your blessing?
My blessing is also my brother.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say until it turned into a weird thing now with Ty. But what you just said reminded me of there's something also really nice about siblings where you're my brother texted me the other day because he was helping my parents like move their tree in for Christmas. And there's something so funny that you can like to anyone else describing a story or a thing, it there's not all the context of being in a family, and it's too hard, but there's something you can so funny and nice when you're like just having that sort of thing of being like texting a photo with one sentence thing and it being so funny.
Yes.
And you're like, I could never even explain this to anyone else.
Well,
but
my sister did that to me the other day, like, because when I was growing up, I had the movie that made me sleep in my bed with my mom for like a month was A Christmas Carol, which is whatever, but like the old that one from the 80s, and there were these kids named like Hunger or Strife or something. They were starving
Hunger and
children
Strife,
or something like that. And
you open them up and they're underneath.
And the music blares. I had nightmares about that for like 2 months, and she just texted me the photo, of the little kids, no explanation. And I was showing my husband, laughing about it. It's perfectly like it's unlocked so many different memories. Yeah.
So
there
shout
you
out to
have
my
it.
brother.
That's
So sorry, Ty. We all
Sorry.
So I don't want to hear anything. I'm
sorry.
I'm sure there's someone listening that is an only child, and that was crazy.
Ty, we've moved on from this. Emma, do you have a blessing?
My point.
Well done. I get it. So I'm grateful for I have this
Yeah,
A blessing, yeah, anything.
blessing. You know what? I am grateful that conservatives have completely no ability to understand art at all, and they will never be good at it. And yeah, you'll have a few conservative artists or actors or stuff like that, but on the whole, they'll never, ever, ever be able to create art in like a meaningful way. That's on art. Like, no matter how bad it gets, that's us, baby.
But every once in a while, it's confusing because, there is Kelsey Grammer is so good in Frasier.
Tough.
I'm saying outliers. Like,
There's outliers.
Yes,
yeah.
there's outliers, but I'm
Eastwood.
just and then Roseanne, but she was a liberal when she was doing it back in the on her TV show days. But anyways, it is there's outliers. There's outliers.
there's that.
But if the art is good, it will not cleanly fit
Yes.
the belief.
Yes.
You know.
And
Frasier wasn't advocating for.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and even
He wasn't writing that
but
show.
conservatives can't even understand art. Like, your average conservative, just think about all the guys in your life that like unironically like Wolf of Wall Street and
I
don't
know they don't like it in the right way.
but they don't realize it's a satire. They like identify
Yes.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Jordan
Same
Belfort.
with Tony Soprano.
Same thing with Tony Soprano.
Yes.
I mean, same thing with Mad Men, which is my favorite show of all
Yeah.
time. The guys that are like, it's not that Don is like self-loathing and depressed. It's like that he fucks a lot. Like, how cool is he?
Yeah.
They never ever get it. They can't understand satire. They can't understand deeper messages. And so, like, or Breaking Bad. It's like, Skyler's a bitch, right? You know? Those are the guys. They'll never ever be able to appreciate art the way we do because they don't have the capacity for complexity, because they're reductionist by definition, and they like to put things in boxes as opposed to expanding their mind. And art is all about expanding your mind and your empathy, and they will never ever en masse be able to appreciate art the way that we do.
And the pain of it, though, is that they still might like it.
But they try. Ben Shapiro wanted to be a screenwriter, like all of those guys. They don't.
But wouldn't
they
the
don't have
world be
the
better
juice.
if they could?
Yes, but there will always be conservatives, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There will always be conservatives.
There will be. There will always be something like 30 to 40% of the population that just like, they're not. Maybe less. It could be less, like 20%, something like that. But yeah.
Probably our patrons.
Yeah.
20%.
Yeah.
Emma, where can people find you?
The Majority Report is like a daily political podcast. We're live at noon, Monday through Friday. You can check us out and just search The Majority Report. Sam Cedar's my co-host. So if you like what I have to say here about politics, check us out over there.
Great. Russell, where can people find you?
At Russell J. Daniels on Instagram.
And
at Emma Vigeland on Instagram. Sorry, at Emma Vigeland on Twitter. And that's all I care about.
I'm on Twitter still. Dear God. For me, I'm leaving literally tomorrow for Tokyo, and then I'm all over Asia and Australia. This one.
Sorry, we're
comes
not
out.
in real time.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, sorry.
And then Ty will be with me for Australia or New Zealand. So if you have anyone who could be his brother or sister, that'd be great. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/downside. Bonus episodes. Keep in touch.
And they're going to be spicy.
They're going to be spicy. Depending on which city in Asia I'm in.
Yeah.
There might be some that are quite
White.
What?
What? I said quite. I said
Quite. I think I said white.
No.
White.
I said
I mean,
quite.
like, if I'm on there and I'm like, Hong Kong is perfect.
Oh,
Like, maybe. But it just might be.
We'll focus on
And
American
Emma, listen,
issues.
Sunny in the Park with George, it's a little bit more like...
Sunny in the Park with George.
I mean, okay, you got to start with like a Sweeney Todd. Sunny in the Park with George, it's a little more like... It's a little more experimental. You got to do a strict narrative.
Who's your favorite Sondheim then? Then I'll start with that.
The fact that you said it like that. Who's my favorite?
I
What
like
is?
Assassins. It's all about...
No, that's not the one to recommend.
know, but
Don't
it is a good
recommend
one.
it. You might like Assassins because it's political.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it deals with every person who's tried to or has assassinated a president. It's just so... I wish Steve was still alive to write a new version with the guy on the roof.
Oh, no.
What's the start?
Company
he
or-
wrote the
or
lyrics to
Sweeney
Sidney
Todd?
Sweeney. Sweeney Todd. He wrote the lyrics to West Side
Sydney
Story.
Sweeney.
Sydney
Sydney
Sweeney.
Sweeney Todd.
Sydney Sweeney Todd, the musical.
That's beautiful.
Sydney Sweeney Todd. Oh, that's a good Chris character.
Sydney Sweeney Todd.
Tell Chris.
Those pies are really plump.
Oh my God.
This is the downside.
Downside.
That was a Headgum podcast.